evaluate. So evaluate means to simplify. This should come out to just be a single number once I evaluate it. Now the question is, how do I evaluate it? I think I've seen before that I have a number in front of a parentheses, which means multiplication. So do I just evaluate from left to right? So is this just 6 times 5? And then after that, I take whatever I get out of that and I add 2. And then whatever I get out of that, I multiply by 6. And then divide by 3. And then subtract 1. And then square it. And then subtract 5 squared? I don't know, is that what I do? Well, let's see what we get when we do that. So we get 30, 32 times 6, 180, 192, divided by 3, 64, minus 1, 63, 63 squared, 39, 69, and then subtract 5 squared, so minus 25? Or do I subtract 5 and then square that? I don't know. So this is 3944. Well, you can imagine that someone else might interpret a different way. Let's keep that. Someone else might say, wait a second. Shouldn't I be doing the parentheses first? So some people might remember some rule about parentheses first. And so maybe they do the 3 minus 1 first, and they get 2, and then they square it, and they get 4, and then they do a bunch of other stuff. The key thing here is, we could get lots of different answers depending on which order we did things. And so we need to come up with an order of operations, an order that we do things. And the order of operations is basically, if you think about a lot of these operations, they're just other operations. Right? Exponents are just repeated multiplication. And multiplication is just repeated addition. So if we broke it down to that, oh, and the other thing is parentheses shows collection. Right, we're trying to collect things. So, if we break it down to that, if we think about it that way, so let me just start writing. 6 times 5 plus 2 times 6 divided by 3 minus 1 squared minus 5 squared. So let's start looking at, okay, so the first thing I can at least agree on is this collection would mean that I can change this to a 2. And likewise, if we start breaking this down, if we're doing 2 times 6, we're saying this is 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So we're taking that whole thing and we're dividing it by 2 squared, which is 4. And then subtracting 5 squared, which is 25, and multiplying that by 6. So the point is there's lots of orders that we can do things. The order that we've agreed to, I guess as a mathematical community, so that we're all communicating the same thing, is that we do parentheses first, then we do exponents, then multiplication and division. Now these come in the same order. It's not that multiplication is more important than division or vice versa. And same with addition and subtraction. And some students remember this acronym goes down PEMDAS. Now when you have things of equal value, you work from left to right. That's the other important thing. Else go left to right, right? So my whole left to right notion wasn't bad, except for this idea that we start left to right. So we have to look at them as parentheses first. So let's look at parentheses first. So 3 minus 1, and then this whole set of parentheses. So we have 6, 5 plus 2 times 6 divided by 2 squared minus 5 squared. So now parentheses, I've taken care of one operation in parentheses. I could take care of this other one, or I could try to get rid of this one set. 2 squared, 2 exponents next is 4. So we could do that. And now everything is flattened to the point where I can deal with the next set of parentheses. So within the parentheses, do I have any exponents? No. Do I have multiplication and division? Definitely. So I work left to right on the multiplication and division. So I have 2 times 6, which is 12, divide by 4, which is 3. So now I have 5 plus 3, 6, minus 5 squared. So now I have 6 times, in the parentheses, 5 plus 3 is 8, minus 5 squared. 6 times 8, 48, minus 25, which is 23. So you can see 23 is very different than the 3,944 I originally got working left to right. And you could imagine you can come up with probably at least a dozen different answers depending on how you interpret a different order. So this is why it's very important to follow order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction.